Welcome to episode 49 of The Cover 2, presented by Tigervision. Yes, episode 49. We're 49 episodes deep. I'm with Grayson Mann. I'm Patrick Neal, as always. And yeah, look, Grayson, the NFL Combine's this week.
We're finally getting to the point where we're not really trying to. I mean, we do it a little bit today.
We're kind of struggling for some news.
We have some stuff though, and it's juicy. This is kind of where Patrick and I take you to the lunch table. It's in between periods. You might have come out of Algebra 2, you might have come out of history, but guess what? It's time to gossip about the NFL news. There's a lot of stuff.
Okay, yeah. I was actually going to go a different way and say there isn't a lot of stuff, so we're going to try and see how much we can make up, but
I'm excited.
Sure, yeah. Quickly, a few cuts have taken place. A few players will not be playing on the same teams that they did this past season. Surprise, surprise. Kenny Golladay, Kenny G, who was thought to have potentially have been the savior for New York Giants football a few years ago, will not be playing for the New York Giants this upcoming season. He will be cut.
Yeah, I think the Giants made the smart move here, and I think his highlight of his Giants career, his short Giants career, is a pancake block in the playoffs. It's not even one of him.
Fantastic block,
but it's not even him catching a football nor catching a touchdown, which he got one, so I'll give him that.
Yeah.
When I watched him, it didn't look like the effort was all there. It kind of appeared to me as once he got, as the kids say, the bag, he dipped.
I wonder if he'll get another contract in the NFL.
He might get signed somewhere just because of the potential and the upside, and it just may not have worked in New York.
Where should he go? Where's the dream scenario for Kenny Golladay?
He's got to go to a championship team and be like the third or fourth receiver.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Put him back with Matthew Stafford. Put him in LA.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
They couldn't get Odell Beckham Jr. They got Allen Robinson, failed experiment. Get another failed experiment in there.
Let's bring another one in.
Yeah, just it's like the island of misfit toys. You just get Allen Robinson, get Kenny Golladay,
Is it even going to be Matthew Stafford? Could it be Baker Mayfield?
Oh,
really add to your misfit island over there.
Yeah, just
the little rascals.
Bring back. Is Cam Akers still on the team?
He is.
Yeah, keep Cam Akers because he wanted out of there. And then get rid of Cooper Kupp. Bring in. I don't know, who's another just washed, like Robert Woods, he's already
that's a good one too. Cut. Former Ram as well.
Yeah.
We are crafting the 2023
Robert Woods, Kenny Golladay,
Rams.
And Allen Robinson.
We
fantastic wide receiver trio. But anyways, Marcus Mariota also will be cut.
Falcons saved $12 million in cap space. Are they gearing up for something? We've been theorizing for the last couple of weeks. Are they gearing up for something big?
I think it was more so, I don't know. It's nice that they get to save a couple $1 million here, but I think it's more so like you had that whole thing at the end of the year where Desmond Ridder started and Marcus Mariota wasn't showing up to practice, all that kind of stuff. Was just hanging out with his family. Family guy, big family guy.
Big family guy.
So
not the cartoon. Just a big family guy.
That's the best adult cartoon, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Family Guy's hilarious.
If we could do a draft of cartoons.
I was watching the Star Wars Family Guy the other day.
Yes.
Good stuff.
So funny.
Good stuff.
Especially if you're a Star Wars guy, you can get all the little references.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, that's not what they actually say.
But yeah, Marcus Mariota will be looking for a new team. Where does he go?
I could see it being a little bit of a yearly absence where he might not.
Takes a break.
Actually.
Takes a COVID year.
I'm gonna say Tampa Bay.
Oh.
We were talking about it earlier before the start of the
bit.
show of who they could sign to be a bridge guy, and Marcus wasn't bad. He may not be the ideal bridge option, but
it wasn't
great.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad either.
I don't know. I feel like they're more. I could see him getting like Jimmy Garoppolo.
I could see Marcus landing somewhere, competing for a spot or as a backup.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll want to be a backup because what happened in Atlanta here. He got benched and was not happy about it. So, I guess respect though for being a family guy.
Yeah, respect.
Realizing what's important in life. Good for him. And then speaking of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Leonard Fournette and Donovan Smith will both be cut.
Cap casualties have begun.
Yep.
Maybe they're gearing up for a little bit of they just explode and blow up the roster and restart without Tom Brady, or, like you mentioned, they get a bridge guy and they try to make it work one more time in an incredibly weak division.
Yeah, it's so weak. It is so incredibly weak. I mean,
I don't know what's weaker, my bench press numbers or
to steal
the
a
NFC
line
South?
to steal a line from Let It Shine. Do you remember that Disney Channel movie?
Oh my God.
Weaker than 7 days. It was in the rap battle, the final rap battle.
Do you have these references piled on your computer or something?
No,
Or is
look,
this straight off
I
the
just
noggin?
have
This is impressive.
that's we're talking about TV and stuff, and this is getting way out of everywhere. But Let It Shine,
impressive.
best Disney Channel original movie.
There's
I'm
a
just gonna
Disney
put it out
Channel
there.
original movie where the Sweet Life twins, they go to a camp with a bunch of other twins that are like created. That one was wild to me as a kid.
I don't remember that one.
They go to this camp and Zach and Cody they go into
Do
this
they
lab.
play Zach and Cody?
Yeah.
In this?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like they go to a camp, but there's also a lab where they engineer twins. It's really wild. For Disney,
I'll have
it
to
was
check
really out
that
there.
out. I'll have to check that out.
But anyways,
Yeah, but what were we even talking about?
Leonard Fournette and Donovan Smith.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get rid of the entire roster because the division is so weak. It would be kind of dumb for them to do that. They still
Yeah.
have a fantastic roster. Good offensive line. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. You get Chris Godwin another year removed from that ACL
Yep.
injury.
Can be fresh.
You have a solid defense.
Yeah, that's what really kept them in the.
Yeah, I think. I mean, you made the playoffs, so
Yeah, that's something.
I think you just get a replacement quarterback in there.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to Google
Zach.
this movie right here and see if I remember. But anyways,
As Patrick is looking that up, let me introduce you guys to our first segment of the day, our first legitimate one. So it came out this week that Russell Wilson, there's some secrets that have been slipped in Seattle. Russell Wilson in the midst of one of the worst years of his professional career, on and off the field, where there have been rumors about his charity, his antics, his let's ride stuff. It has been reported that Russell Wilson campaigned for Pete Carroll to be fired. And in that process, they dealt him to Denver. Seattle makes the playoffs with Geno. Russell Wilson goes 4-13 with the tire fire of the Denver Broncos 2022 season. Russell Wilson has an office. No one likes it. Sean Payton comes in. Patrick, I turn it to you. What did you make of the report when you saw it? Just gossip or?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some truth to it. By the way, the movie is just called The Sweet Life movie.
Oh,
So,
I was
a little
thinking
anticlimactic there. But anyways, Russell Wilson came out on Twitter and basically denied these claims.
Right.
So, I don't know. I feel like Pete Carroll's a good guy. I feel like you probably wouldn't want to fire him, but who knows? Russell Wilson. Who knows anything about Russell Wilson anymore?
it's a little wild. He's got his own staff following him around.
I don't know. I think we just gotta wait and look for this coming year. See what's up with him and Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton got rid of his office. So
I wouldn't be shocked. I don't know what Nathaniel Hackett was doing with that, but it might have been just first-year head coach coming in. Don't want to mess around with the Super Bowl winning quarterback, but Sean Payton's all business, man.
what do you think he used his office for?
Probably to just what it read to me was that he was acting pretty much like he wasn't a player, more of a coach. Goes in there, watches film, reviews his let's ride memes, sees, okay, maybe I need to say that this week.
He's given the rest of the team like therapy sessions. He's working out contract
He's sending out a
details.
schedule. All right, team, this is the practice schedule for the week.
Yeah.
And he's got Nathaniel Hackett in the
don't know.
email list.
That would be
be
something.
terrible.
But who knows? Russell Wilson is just it's just Russell Wilson. I don't really have much else to say. So
And I don't hate Russell Wilson, so it's kind of a weird. It's been very much a weird.
the
Very,
narrative
very
is
weird.
really flipped on him in like a year and a half.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, I think it was kind of understood he's kind of a weird guy when he was in Seattle, but like after he left Seattle, I mean, it just
Boom.
everything came
boom,
out,
boom.
and yeah, everybody just started hating him. So kind of feel bad for him, but
We'll see how it works out with Sean Payton.
That's the life of an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, sometimes quarterbacks just can't help the untrue rumors that are flipped onto them.
Yeah.
They really can't.
Yeah.
And
But,
some of them are really, really untrue. As we'll get into it.
A little other news. Both these stories kind of came out a few days ago, so we're kind of late to it, but we only do one show a week. So we got to talk about it when we can. Aaron Rodgers left his silence retreat. The photos came out of what his retreat looked like, and I'm not going to lie, it looked like a nice place to just chill out, do whatever he does, I guess. I mean, I'm not a big drugs guy.
Oh,
but
this does look nice.
I guess if that's what he was doing, ayahuasca or whatever, however you pronounce it, I guess that'd be a fun place to do it. You know, just you're in solitude. I think he like got his meals brought to him once a day.
Just once?
So he has like room service basically.
Oh, that's pretty
He's
fire.
got a nice little yoga mat to meditate. He's got a bed. He's got a nice view of the wilderness.
And he just sits there?
Can't ask for more. I
guess
mean, we don't really know what he did, in all honesty.
This is true. We know Rodgers could be binge watching Harry Potter. He could be watching the new season of Outer Banks. He might have been a week
Good
late.
season, by the way.
I have not
finished
watched
it this
it yet.
weekend.
I watched the first episode.
We won't talk about it.
pretty good.
Then, but I enjoyed it.
Could be prepping Mandalorian season 3.
That also comes out tomorrow. I mean, we're just turning in a.
This is no longer the cover 2. This is the pop culture 2.
Yeah.
We're really bringing the analysis to a new level. This year.
We're like for the love of film. Shout out,
love of film.
The other Tigervision shows.
You have to.
Anyways, yeah. So, Aaron Rodgers, I believe Brian Gutekunst said that he thinks Jordan Love. It came out today that I don't remember the words exactly, but I think he said Jordan Love looks like he's ready to be a starter. And on Aaron Rodgers, he said, I gotta find the tweet.
I'm sure. I mean, Jordan Love's going to play a big part of the equation as he did last year, just because the nature of it all. They traded up to get him in the first round. It's not like he's a third-round quarterback that's really developed behind Rodgers. He's meant to be the future of Green Bay, based off of the merit of the pick. So, like last year and like the year before, we're going to continue to play this game of will they, won't they, with Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers and Jordan. Jordan Love's kind of that best friend with the awkward relationship that keeps just going back and forth. Will they, won't they? He's kind of the mediator, the messenger. He's got to play between both sides, being like, look, he's going to change. She's changed. It's just this weird dynamic in Green Bay.
I can't find the exact tweet, but I think he said something along the lines of they want to figure QB out before March 15th.
Ideally.
So, well, let's talk about the draft combine because that's obviously the biggest thing this week.
Yes.
And we've spent a lot of time not talking about the NFL draft combine, but yeah, biggest storyline.
Big now week that's starting.
Speaking of, by the way, so I think for the 50th episode, what we're going to try and do.
You ready for this?
So the NFL draft combine is this week. We are going to try and film our own NFL draft combine. We're not sure the details yet, what events we'll be doing, but we're going to figure it out, and hopefully that'll be up next week.
So as Patrick and I are texting this, and he brings up the idea of a scouting combine, the first thing I think of is, dear God, is my bench press going to be on camera? To which you told me, I don't think we're doing that.
We can do it, we can't do it, I don't know. We'll figure out the events later, but that's what we're going to try and do, at least for now, unless plans change. Look for it next week, big 50th episode special. Anyways, draft combine. Biggest storylines. I think we got to start Bryce Young's height and weight.
He's a short king.
Everybody loves talking about this guy's size, so that's probably the biggest storyline.
This is the age-old question. Size matter? Sorry.
I mean, PFF put that exact tweet out earlier. So,
they did. I mean, it is the age-old question that everyone wonders about Bryce Young and among other things. But the 5'10" number. Do we believe it, or is he a little shorter than that?
I think he's probably about 5'10", 5'9.5".
I believe he's my height, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, there's the Mina Kimes photo with him standing next to Mina Kimes, and he is not much taller than Mina Kimes.
Yes.
However, Mina Kimes, I think she said she was wearing heels. Still, I don't know how much it's going to matter what he weighs in, what his height is, because if you already had if you're an NFL team and you already had issues with his height, his weight, his stature, you're probably still going to have issues regardless on if he's 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", and if he's 180, 185, 190. Honestly, right?
I thought the debate was more, but not about his height, because we've seen quarterbacks that are shorter succeed.
Yeah, Kyler
I thought
Murray,
it was more
for
about
example.
his just.
Yeah, he's a
skinny
thin
dude.
guy.
Yeah,
He's a thin guy.
and he's going to get blasted by 6'2", 6'3", 240-pound linebackers, defensive linemen. He's going to get some bruises, some nicks here and there,
Yep.
but I don't think it's going to be the height that's the end-all be-all. And I still think he'll probably be.
I agree.
Depending on who's the number one pick, he will be drafted there.
You think he's the number one pick? The number one overall
He'll
pick?
be the first quarterback taken.
That's your guess right now. Okay.
my guess.
So, in your opinion, size does not matter.
Not with this situation. I think what Bryce Young brings to the table, you got to get the measurables out of the way, the intangibles, the way he was able to transform that Bama offense. I think his most impressive game, and even though they lost, was that national championship against Georgia, where he had Jameson Williams go down. I believe it was him because
Yep. Jameson Williams wasn't playing in that game. John Mechie wasn't playing.
John Mechie was the one that went down, and he was playing with guys like Nick Saban even famously came out and said they weren't ready to go. And the spots that Young was putting the ball there, the receivers weren't making the play, but the ball was in the right spot. I remember rewatching it and being so impressed and just focusing purely on his throws from that standpoint with the Georgia defense that we know was very good, a lot of first-rounders. He played a heck of a game, and if you have this receiver or that receiver in there that can make those plays, I was impressed.
Yeah.
He had a lot going against him in that game, and he still was able to play very well.
Yeah, I mean, I loved watching Bryce Young in college. I love just watching him like dance around the pocket.
Yeah,
like,
he's
his
an
pocket
artist.
presence is awesome. Alabama's known for having just a stacked wide receiver room. That wasn't the case. He had Jahmyr Gibbs this past season, and that was about it. He had Jameson Williams last year. He had John Mechie last year, but this year it was.
He's made it work.
Yeah, he made it work with not, at least to Alabama standards, not great weapons. Offensive line was kind of hit or miss as well. He basically put Alabama on his, at least the offensive side of the ball. He put Alabama on his back this year.
And I think there's a big, we haven't talked a lot about college football, and this is kind of our opportunity to do so, is that bowl opt-outs are such a big part of what the sport is now. And in the Sugar Bowl, where he's the projected number one overall pick at that time, has nothing to gain against a team in Kansas State that talent-wise shouldn't be on the same field as Alabama in that situation. It goes out and plays extremely well and just goes through that process. That impressed me too, because in the grand scheme of things, what did he have to prove versus an Anthony Richardson who's in a 6-6 bowl game, opts out? It's not like Bryce Young goes out there to be a first-round pick. His play wasn't going to change. Him playing wasn't going to change where he gets drafted. And so I was impressed by that, just the leadership qualities you need in a quarterback.
Yeah, I think if you're a team looking to draft a quarterback, I would not personally, just because of his size. Bryce Young, I love. But if you have an offensive line that needs a lot of work,
I'd be worried.
I don't know if I'd draft Bryce Young just because the amount of hits he's going to take, it's going to take a toll. I'd worry about fixing that offensive line first. So, for example, Chicago.
Please don't.
I'd worry about fixing the other sides of the offense first. And honestly, I'd keep Justin Fields if I was Chicago.
Yeah.
I'd listen to offers for number one overall pick.
Any good GM would listen.
Yeah, and Justin Fields, but I'd keep Justin Fields.
Houston,
but for
I'd be
example,
terrified.
Houston, yeah. I would take, they kind of need a quarterback, so they're probably going to take a quarterback.
Yeah.
But, if I'm taking Bryce Young, I'm making sure, I'm spending the rest of the 6 other rounds, I'm spending picks on offensive line.
Just get 6 linemen and have them compete it out.
Although I guess Houston needs a lot more, so, maybe get a receiver too. But
Maybe enforce the tackles.
I don't know.
So he's not getting blindsided.
it's tough. But, who's recently gotten a lot of love for the first overall pick, his betting odds?
I don't understand it.
Anthony Richardson.
I don't get it.
I
This might be my negative side of things. I really don't. I understand why he's a first-round quarterback. I don't understand why people think he's more of a certified home run than Bryce Young.
Well, I don't think he is a certified home run.
Right.
That's if he was a certified home run, he'd easily be the first overall pick. Very, very easily. He's got the best size in this draft, I think.
Yeah.
He's going to come into this league as one of the best rushing quarterbacks already, kind of like Malik Willis last year, although the Titans didn't want to use him to run. But that's besides the point. I think why he's gained a lot of traction is because of the question marks all these other guys have. You have Bryce Young, who the size, like we were just talking about. C.J. Stroud, you don't know how much he can do outside of the pocket, how much he can, kind of create on his own. He's been in an Ohio State system that's pumped out first-round wide receivers these past few years. And, yeah, I think C.J. Stroud is fantastic, and he's still going to be one of the first quarterbacks taken, too. You have Will Levis, who struggled this year.
Yeah.
I mean, Anthony Richardson struggled this year as well, but I think he has a fantastic arm. There's plenty of highlights of him, plenty of lowlights as well. But I think a lot of teams are just starting to realize that, if each of these quarterbacks hits their ceiling, Anthony Richardson is going to be the best of the four.
Yeah, and this is what I'd like to classify as the Josh Allen effect, where you have a guy of that stature, that size, that arm, where you watch the games for Anthony Richardson. I remember watching the Utah game and being blown away, but also at the same time, for every good play he made, there was a bad play that followed it. There was bad footwork at times. He would sail receivers, make some really questionable throws. But then the plays he makes where he runs over 3 Florida State defenders for a 65-yard rushing touchdown, you go, wow, this is crazy. And didn't Josh Allen really do virtually the same stuff? It's really just the risk that Richardson brings with, his ceiling might be as high as the moon, but what's the floor?
I think Anthony Richardson was a little bit more polished in college than Josh Allen was.
That's probably fair.
I personally really like Bryce Young, but I'll also admit that was probably the quarterback I watched the most out of these four, just because Bama was always on, and I loved watching Bryce Young. But I can understand the Richardson hype. Stroud, he's a fantastic player. I think a lot of people have comped him to someone like Jared Goff, which, maybe you don't want Jared Goff as your first overall pick, but Jared Goff was the first overall pick.
Got to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And this year he had a fantastic.
And C.J. Stroud's ball placement is fantastic.
Yes.
So, and then Will Levis as well. I think a lot of his talk is about his off the field, just leadership, just his personality. I mean, he does some weird stuff like putting mayo in his coffee, but
it's a little weird, but I mean, it's not going to affect the franchise.
He's got some fantastic tools, kind of like Anthony Richardson, and he's got fantastic off the field qualities as well.
Yeah,
so.
These are all four, and you include all five. You want to include all four. We're right. These quarterbacks that go in the first round, there's not a lot of baggage for them off the field. There's a lot of it's mechanically or play issues, but I've never been more excited. I think this is similar to the 2021 class, where there's a lot of good quarterbacks coming into the first round. And we can kind of see, this may be a little more heightened in terms of, I guess, Trevor Lawrence really...
I would definitely say the 2021 class was better, I think.
Yeah, this just in terms of, because 2022 we had a lull. We only really had Kenny Pickett go in the first round.
I think all four of these quarterbacks go over maybe not Pickett, but I don't know. I think all of these quarterbacks probably go ahead of Pickett.
It reminds me of the 2021 draft, and where the first 15 picks will be filled with quarterbacks. We'll get a ton of interesting conversations. I think Levis and Richardson have the most to gain from the combine, just because they will probably wow them more off the chart in terms of the
I would agree.
40-yard dash. They're going to have some crazy throws. They're going to do something insane with their physical abilities, where I don't think Bryce Young's even throwing.
Bryce Young is not throwing, but the other three are. So
C.J. Stroud will get a chance to show off some accuracy.
Yeah, and maybe he was very much willing to use his feet in the semifinal game against Georgia. So if C.J. Stroud happens to run the 40 and he runs like a 4.8?
Yeah.
4.9? I don't know. Like a 4.8. That's not terrible.
It's not bad.
But yeah, I think those three definitely have the most to gain. I would say Anthony Richardson probably has the most to gain out of everybody. Because
he's doing this.
Right now he's probably mocked to go the latest in the draft, which means he has a lot of room to go up as well. So I think that's probably who has the most to gain out of the four, Bryce Young being the least. I would agree with you. Who else's stock could we kind of see rise significantly?
You know who I've seen really get an interesting debate surrounded around him? And this is actually someone right across the street. Is Trenton Simpson. He's seen
like
a
it.
lot of people have started to open up the film on him, and some are really impressed and some aren't. And I'd be really curious to see is when he steps into the combine. He's one of those freak athletes where he could run an impressive 40, do a lot of these crazy things, and people are just like, whoa, and that boosts his, because originally you had, within that Clemson group, Miles Murphy, Brzee, and Trenton Simpson all viewed to be first-round picks when it's all said and done, and it's kind of withered a little bit as the off-season's progressed.
I think he has potential to be, definitely one of like the biggest standouts at this combine.
Now, there's a linebacker that played alongside him, two of them at Clemson here, that I think are going to wow next year.
Yeah,
but we'll wait
I
for
agree
that
as well.
We'll wait for that.
The linebackers, Clemson linebackers.
There's something else.
Woo. But yeah, Trenton Simpson, supposedly, I don't know how true this is, but I heard a report or two that he could potentially run in like the 4.3s.
I did see that. That's
So
accurate.
if that happens, linebacker running 4.3 speed.
That's going to draw some eyes no matter what
That's
he
going
is.
to draw some eyes. So yeah, Trenton Simpson, athletic freak. And I'm excited to watch him. I'm excited to watch all the Clemson guys, honestly.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's at least like 10.
Yeah, you know.
On the combine.
But yeah, I think he's another. I think he's one. One I've kind of seen a lot about Devon Achane from Texas A&M.
Yes.
I think if anybody's going to break the 40 time record this
He's a
year,
speedster.
it's him. You know, he's. I think he's an Olympic sprinter, if I'm not wrong.
That doesn't shock me if that's the case.
If you watch his highlights, like not only is he just straight line fast, but he's shifty too, and you know his stop and start ability, fantastic. So I think he'll probably have the fastest 40 time if I were to guess.
Oh yeah.
You know, not like weight adjusted or anything, but I think he's one that could potentially boost his stock significantly. He is a small running back though. You know, kind of not he's like height wise small, and then also not the bulkiest guy. But if he was bulky, it'd probably take away from his speed. So
Yeah, if he's got a big build and he's still able to run in that impressive speed, I'd be one. All right, and then we'll kind of, I don't know how much time we potentially have, but the tight ends are a very interesting. There's the guy from Iowa. There's Mayer from Notre Dame who.
Laporta.
Oof, it's a deep tight end class. And I think
Davis Allen.
Davis Allen, who.
Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah.
Darnell Washington.
Big guys.
A good tight end class this year.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this class is viewed in general as kind of a weaker class. Just
think
overall.
it's entirely accurate.
But you know, you're always going to be able to find guys throughout the draft, and this tight end class is fantastic. So, who's your tight end one personally?
Mayer from Notre Dame.
Okay.
I mean, I watched him in person at that Notre Dame game, and when they terrorized Clemson, he's an impressive guy to watch. He reminds me of Freiermuth from the Steelers in terms of he's just a big guy. He can get every 50-50 ball that's thrown his way. They didn't use him as much in that game, but he was such a presence. And I think if he can develop that in the NFL and just purely be a guy that defensive coordinators have to take away, that's also extremely valuable because you've got guys like Kelsey right now, George Kittle, Goddard, or guys like Gronk in the past who they might have a 2 or 3 catch game, but there's so much attention drawn their way that opens up for guys like A.J. Brown in the Super Bowl or guys like Juju Smith-Schuster had a decent second half who had that holding call.
Yeah.
Speak on that one.
Yeah.
But that's basically
Michael Mayer is a fantastic tight end. He'll come into the league and be a good blocker already. He's just a thick body, just a tree trunk. To quote Colin Cowherd when he was talking about Sam Darnold.
Just a tree trunk.
Trunky,
No, there will never be more of a man crush than Colin Cowherd and Sam Darnold. That was a match made to happen, and it did not work out.
Maybe get him on the Cowherd show if he doesn't have a job in a few years. But
maybe can be his co-host.
Yeah, that's some of the draft combine's biggest storylines.
We need to keep talking about the draft combine, especially next week, because that right there. We were back to our cover 2 roots.
Well, yeah, but look, real quickly, there was a report today. I put it on the doc late.
You italicized it.
Grayson's not going to be
You
super excited about this,
italicized
but there's a report today that Mac Jones, the Patriots staff, had to take it easy when coaching him, and take it easy when giving him negative comments.
Where did this come from? I
just want your thoughts on it.
All right, I just want to start. I got an article pulled up.
Is Mac Jones soft?
No. We're not going to. I think Mac Jones this year, and it's kind of like Russell Wilson. There have never been more of a 180 that I've seen with him. And I know he had some haters with the whole Brian Burns situation. Not going to talk about that. But going into 2021, from the guy that I know that works for the Boston Herald, told me that everybody in the locker room absolutely loves him. He's definitely the guy of the future. All the senior captains, guys like McCourty, Slater, nothing but praise for him. And then this whole just absolute you-know-what show happens with Patricia, and it just flips, especially when Mac Jones got hurt. And Zappe came in. There was this whole seesaw debate between the fan base. That was a
when he sprained his ankle and had to get helped off the field.
Look, those sprained ankles are no joke. I mean,
I agree. The sprained ankles do stink.
We have LeBron famously out for long periods of time with that sprained ankle.
Yeah, LeBron, who right after saying these next 23 games are the most important 23 games of his career,
out for the count.
Yeah, so
he'll be watching from the bench. Coach James.
Cry?
Is
Mac Jones lay cry?
No, he's not. We also don't know how painful that was, potentially.
I mean,
they almost needed to have surgery.
But, I don't know. Patrick Mahomes played in the Super Bowl on a high ankle sprain.
Well, there's also varying degrees of high ankle sprains.
Can you get higher than high?
I think there's a couple levels, but regardless,
That's probably something you need to ask Aaron Rodgers.
Maybe. Okay, that one just. Okay,
but
here we go.
Look, yeah.
Arguably one of the top faces of the New England Patriots, who you ask anybody, Devin McCourty, who's currently mulling retirement, he has been on the team since 2010. He's been around a while. He knows what it takes in New England to win, and he knows a good quarterback when he sees him. Trust me, he's played with him for a while.
Yeah.
This is what Devin McCourty said about Mac Jones. Here we go. It says, "They know the future is Mac Jones," McCourty said, "and I'm excited for this guy this year because now you get Billy O'Brien coming in as the offensive coordinator. Great success. Has done well everywhere he's been offensively. He gets to come in and work with Mac, and now he's going to finally have stability around him." And he added, "I think he's the future of New England. Any doubts? I think you're wrong." End quote. Boom. Seal of approval from arguably one of the pinnacles of captainship, leadership in this Patriots organization that's been very successful. If anybody knows, it's him.
Well, what about when Jacoby Myers threw that whatever happened play and Chandler Jones just ran him over? Didn't he? Look.
To be fair, did Mac Jones expect Jacoby Myers to completely turn around?
You gotta make a play there.
He tried.
You gotta make a play. It didn't look like he tried.
Well,
it looked like he just.
In retrospect, if it was you and Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones run me. Yeah, I'm not Mac Jones though. I'm a football player.
He's a quarterback. He's not trying to tackle.
He's a football player though. He's a professional football player.
He had the leg wrapped, and Chandler Jones just put him into the earth's crust.
Or Mac Jones has had a few dirty plays as well.
We're not going to get into this.
You got the dirty blow on.
I think that would
Apple.
Probably prove the point that he's not soft. He's hard.
No, he might just be soft because it's like Grayson Allen.
No, that's a bad comparison.
What are you talking about?
No.
Look, that proves he's soft because, like, a guy that's
absolutely
not soft, that's tough, is going to make a play without having to do the dirty things.
It's my quarterback. I'm not going to do
I'm
not going to do a Kyrian level Daniel Jones top 10 thing.
Your quarterback just might be soft. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know if he's the truth.
I don't know, Jim. No, he's the truth.
I don't know, Jim. He might be soft. So, that's going to do it for this episode of The Cover 2. I hope you enjoyed that little debate there. We don't normally, I feel like we got to get more
fiery.
Yeah, we got to get more polarizing.
Should we start screaming
as
at
a
each other?
show? Make it more entertaining. So
you should start getting up and you're wrong.
I'm just gonna become kind of like with Daniel Jones, just the world's biggest Mac Jones hater.
Maybe.
So
you'd be just like my roommates.
Yeah.
As if I don't hear it enough at home, Patrick.
You can't escape it. But yes, that's gonna do it for this episode of The Cover 2, presented by Tigervision. Want to thank Zach and Connor for producing in the back, as always. We want to thank you all for tuning in. If you want to subscribe, like, comment,
press all the buttons,
do everything, you can. It helps us out a lot. Yeah. So episode 49 is over. Have a good one.